Hey guys, how's it going? I've been using this Realme 6 phone for a couple months now, and I'd like to share my thoughts on it. I got it in the second week of June to be my daily driver as I was running out of space in my Xiaomi Mi A2 Android One phone. I got the 8GB RAM, 128GB internal storage variant of the Realme 6. There's also a 4GB RAM variant and a Realme 6 Pro variant. The only difference between this regular non-Pro Realme 6 is that there's two selfie cameras in front. I barely use the lone selfie camera as it is, so this middle-of-the-road variant is the best option for me. I've always preferred stock Android, but I thought to give Realme a try, as they tweaked Oppo's Color OS to be more stock Android-like. And I really needed a new phone already in June. I couldn't wait until the Xiaomi Mi A4 came out. Here are my thoughts on the more noteworthy aspects of the Realme UI, which is at version 1.0 right now compared to Android One, which offers more or less a 99% stock Android experience in Xiaomi phones. I've always loved that I can swipe down on the fingerprint sensor on the Xiaomi Mi A2 and I'll call up the notification shade. There's still a proper fingerprint sensor here on the power button. It's not at the back this time. I like this one. But they didn't incorporate the swipe down gesture here, although they technically could. At least they didn't go with under glass. That under glass fingerprint sensor is slow, unless it's an expensive phone. With this one, it's pretty much instantaneous. There's a built-in app lock feature to the Realme OS, so there's no need to download a third-party one. It works just like the third-party app lock apps I've been using on my other phones for the past years. You can choose which apps to be locked here. So I kind of locked their app store and like Google Authenticator, my online bankings with a little lock icon as you can see. And you need to pass the biometric test, either your fingerprint or the face unlock, or enter a PIN code before you can access the app that you've locked up. I have to say, using the built-in app lock is much faster than using a third-party app lock app. You can find this under privacy. The default text messaging app has a pinch to zoom feature. Here are my texts. Open a message and I can pinch to zoom, which is pretty handy. The default Google Messages app doesn't have this feature. However, I prefer the default Google Messages app for SMS. So let's switch it back. One irritating thing though is that after buying this phone, I had to individually go to the SMS threads here to mute the SMS threads that I wanted silenced. Here are some of them, like they're not exactly spam. I still want to receive notices from these people or companies. I don't want to get like a sound like when I receive messages from them. If there's only a way to export the mute settings from the default Google messaging app to a new phone, that would be amazing. I was actually easily able to transfer my Google Authenticator accounts from my old Xiaomi Mi A2 to here because of the transfer accounts feature. So right now I already turned on the gesture navigation, but by default when you turn it on, it has the 3-button soft key nav bar at the bottom from the pre-gesture, pre-Android 9 days. So here you search for navigation buttons and settings, and you can click on virtual buttons. You actually have options of, so the home button by default is in the center, but you can choose if you want the back button here and the recent tasks here to the left, or you want this option where the back button is to the left of the home button and the task switchers to the right. So let's say I choose this one, and then I now have like soft keys here at the bottom, like the olden days. And then when I click this, I can switch between various apps that I have open. So let's go back to settings because it's 2020, the year of the pandemic, and I prefer to use gesture navigation, so it's pretty neat. And they actually, like, if you turn on gestures, they actually have a neat little tutorial. It'll show you, like, to go back, there's a little, you can swipe inward just a bit, like this. little tutorial, and then go back to home screen. You swipe up, which is pretty much like the default Android 1 behavior. So we're in settings, right? If you want to go to the home screen, you totally swipe up and it's gone. If you want to task switch, you kind of move up a bit, like move up and do like this, and then you can choose between various tasks. You could switch between various open apps like this, which is pretty neat. And then you can also lift it up a bit, and then you can close apps. It's closed. There's an interesting built-in app called ORoaming. This is the default launcher, which actually looks very much like the default Android, the stock Android 10 launcher. You swipe up to go to the app drawer, and then I type here ORoaming. It's one word. And they have like data packages. Obviously, I haven't tried any as there's a pandemic. I can't really travel abroad to see if it works, but you can buy data packages for various foreign countries. So I'm in the Philippines right now, and there are no data packages shown that's available for the Philippines. I assume it will pop up if your phone is like based abroad. Anyway, there are various Asian countries here, China, Hong Kong, Taiwan. There are pretty cheap data packages that you can buy with. So in theory, you can just grab a package from ORoaming and leave your SIM card in, and I assume it will still find signal abroad, but then with their partner networks here. I think this works kind of like those roaming pocket Wi-Fi devices that you can purchase data packages for, like Pokify. So here are the various packages they even have for Europe. Realme OS also has a payment protection setting under privacy. So let's go to the settings. Privacy is here. And then here's payment protection. It can detect which apps are mobile wallets or involved payments or are banking apps. And let's say I turn one on. So WeChat, it's a chat app, but it's also a kind of a mobile wallet app. So, but anyway, let's turn on one of the Philippine mobile wallet apps like PayMaya, for example. So, biometric. So when I turn on my app, like, it shows here that there's a little green icon on top. I don't really know like what kind of protection it offers beyond detecting that there's money involved, but it's still interesting that it can detect like which app is a mobile wallet or something that involves financial transactions. I assume it will prompt you more to ask what's allowed, what's not allowed for payment apps. The options for notification shade shortcuts are interesting. I've already customized them to my own liking. I've already removed the ones that's like I don't like. What I find interesting is they have like an option that's not available in stock Android that's primarily for switching, not even switching SIM 1 or SIM 2 like for calls or whatever, because you could do that in settings. This is like specifically choosing which SIM card you want to use for mobile data. The selfie camera is a punch hole type one. It's not a teardrop kind like the Xiaomi Mi A3. It's a nearly bezel-less phone on top with a very, very small chin at the bottom. So this is compared side by side with the Xiaomi Mi A3. Very small chin. The chin is not as small as top-of-the-line phones, but it's pretty decent for a budget phone. The disadvantage of the bezel-less top, though, is that there's totally no notification LED or a proximity sensor. It's very irritating. I don't know why this trend is all the rage. The edges of the software windows are a bit rounded. It looks a bit weird too. So here, the edges are square. This one is like weirdly rounded. I don't like it. The phone call app has a call record feature that stock Android doesn't have. There's also a quick shortcut button here on the side. If you can see a little vertical line here on the upper right. You can opt to choose its placement actually in the settings or take it out. And here are a bunch of shortcuts that you can set yourself. If the app permits it, any app that you call out from this little sidebar thing here, you can open a smaller version of itself, like this calculator, kind of like picture-in-picture mode. See it? So then I can click X. Not all apps obviously can do the picture-in-picture mode. Their default apps can. So let's say I open Chrome. Well, it doesn't open a little picture-in-picture version of itself. That's fine. So if I do the task switching thing where it's smaller, then this little 2-dot thing, I can split screen it. Bottom, I'll choose some other app. Let's say YouTube. There you go. I can split screen it and choose. But the cool thing though with the sidebar thing is it could just do picture in picture, like smaller than split screen, floating on the phone, which is interesting. So there are very few grammatical errors in the interface. I'll just show you some screenshots. Like in about the software, when you update the software, fix the low probabilistic issue that the sound is out of sync with the picture. A second example, it's in fingerprint. Like if I'm gonna add a fingerprint, it will say, place your fingerprint on the fingerprint button. Well, it's actually the power button. That's fine. And then move it away when you feel vibration. Some small things like that make it feel like a bit like a foreign phone. So the screen has a fast refresh rate option of 90 hertz. Oh, here it is. Display and brightness, screen refresh rate. Since this is the new trend now, I turned it on. I've been using 90 hertz, the fast refresh rate, for ever since day one. And it didn't seem to affect the battery life much. The battery life of this phone is excellent. It's big at 4300 mAh, but I can't distinguish any difference in this screen's 90 hertz versus the 60 hertz slower refresh rate of normal phones. The screen looks pretty nice though. It's very clear and vibrant. I just can't tell the difference. Speaking of the large battery, the phone comes with a very fast 30-watt power brick. This is the chunky 30-watt charger. Oh yeah, and I discovered a strange thing. I think it's a bug with Realme UI, but I hope they fix it. So in Do Not Disturb, I have like Do Not Disturb at scheduled times. I set 2 rules. I was able to do this last month when I first got it. So 2 rules have been applied. I don't remember what rules I set, but when I click it, it goes back. And it goes back to the main settings page. It should go back to a window that lets me choose the rules I applied before, remove them, or revise them. So it's a strange bug. I hope they fix it for July. This phone comes with 3 slots. So none of those hokey hybrid SIMs where you have to choose between having 2 SIM cards or 1 SIM card and 1 SD card slot. I haven't bought an SD card for it yet. It's still on the way. But it's good to have a backup, you know? For a budget device, the quality of the build finish is excellent. And this is the power button sensor and fingerprint sensor, volume rocker, the SIM card and micro and SD slots, and the all-important earphone jack. These are the bottom speakers, kind of not very symmetrical. There are 4 holes here and only 2 here, so it doesn't look very symmetrical, but can't be helped because they put the earphone jack here. So it's kind of got this shimmery, shining back, which is very pretty. The phone came with this clear case, which is kind of a tinted clear case, sadly, so it doesn't really show off the beauty of this shiny, shimmering splendor since it's tinted, but it's fine. I just use it for protection. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little video. What do you think of Realme? Do you think Oppo made the right move with making this sub-brand? Do you own any phone or any device under the Realme sub-brand? Please comment below. Thank you for watching. Please thumb this video up if you enjoyed it and subscribe to be updated when I upload again. See you next video.